I want you to remember this from the very start of this message, that because you are the Empress, you are able to turn with the Wheel of Fortune. You don't have to wait. You're not subject to just the chance and the luck of when the Wheel of Fortune is turning in your favor. You are at the point in your journey where the wheel is ever turning in your favor, because you are moving in your intuition, in your receptive, receiving state of knowing that you are worth every good thing in this world happening to you, happening for you. And you see everything that is happening for you as happening for your highest good, regardless of where it's coming from and regardless of what it is. So I want you to remember that from the very start of this message. You are you're in this state where this is what was pulled first, but I think it's more important to start here first. It's easy to me, this had like a negative energy with it, and immediately I pulled the Tower. It was in reverse, but I flipped it over after I pulled the Knight of Wands, and the first thought that came to mind was, you need to be receptive to the fact that you don't have to brace yourself for another freaking Tower moment. We're out of that part of our journey, not where nothing hard is ever going to happen again, but you don't need to be bracing yourself. You need to be preparing yourself for the good. You need to be preparing yourself for messages incoming that are going to be relieving and uplifting to your soul and to your heart space. You need to be receptive to, like children, just like so 228, so receptive to love and strength and gratitude, meaning the strength card, like you don't need to be so strong for this. Your strength is in your receptivity, and your victory is assured. And you don't have to have it on display if you don't want to for right now. You get to just bask in the goodness and the play of the energy of giving that is coming towards you. Then coming back to this, you are moving away. This is why it was like, I didn't even want to look at this first. And it's actually indicative of how much growth that you're making as far as being more resistant to this type of energy. Like, no, I don't hold space for this in my existence anymore. And that's wonderful. That's perfect, because that's exactly what the message is you are moving away from all of these energies that are, this card for some reason today is speaking to me of like the victim mentality. It's like she's just kind of like, oh, poor me, like I have all of these things like raining down on me, and like anything that has been used as a manipulative tactic from a victim mentality standpoint, in a more feminine energy, because that seems to be more of the route. Feminine energy tends to be a little less abrasive and aggressive, like in your face, straight up confrontation. And so you have to be more on the lookout for this covert type of energy, this more subtle passive aggressive type energy. And you already know what to look for there. You can feel it. You don't even need to look for it. You just actually believe your subtle impressions from the inside, which may be not so subtle anymore, honestly. You've been fine-tuning your intuition and your skills and your spiritual gifts enough that it's pretty strong. Like, that voice has gotten a lot stronger for you. You're also leaving behind any dishonesty from yourself. anything that's been keeping you trapped in your own internal world by you. And you are you're not fazed by the ones in this world that are just willy-nilly, just going to and fro with the wind and caring more about what other people think of them. You know, like, that's the people who care too much about what others think of them are always going to be subject to just kind of being tossed to and fro with the whims of the trends of the world. And you're moving away from this energy of slowness, of waiting forever for, remember, again, like, you are the Empress, and because you are in your Empress energy, you are moving with the Wheel of Fortune. It is ever turning in your favor because you are moving divinely with your intuition and your impressions with it to wherever it's guiding you. It's almost like the Wheel of Fortune is guiding you now towards what is no longer serving you. And some of those energies, again, are this slowness, this idea that, like, we have to wait, we have to work so hard for everything that we receive. Sometimes the best gifts are the ones that you don't work so hard for. And it's not the energy of entitlement. I know that a lot of us who have grown up with energies who are really, really scared about people being entitled. You know what? You are allowed to be entitled to receiving what is meant for you. That's literally, like, entitlement was never supposed to be a bad word. It never was. For some reason in this world, it gets a negative connotation. Just like arrogance versus confidence, except there's not really another word for entitlement. Maybe like deserving, but entitlement itself is like kids, right? Kids are entitled to a happy, loving, safe, and secure home life with loving parents. Like, they just are. They're entitled to that simply by being born, simply by being who they are, no matter what that looks like. And we have to start to learn how to apply that same concept to ourselves as adults. Like, just because you grow up doesn't mean that you aren't worthy and deserving of being taken care of financially and being fulfilled in your work, in what you spend so much of your time and existence in doing. The other energies that are the final part of this reading here is you're moving away from all energies and all people, especially like dominant authority figures that have made you doubt your own intuition for so long. 8:11 on the clock. That's just seriously an important one. Like, you are finally choosing to move away from these energies, and you're being called away, like you're being pulled away from these energies, which is disempowering the devil. Because literally, like, you receiving your wish fulfillments, 8:28, you receiving your wish fulfillments in all forms is literally just the last piece. It's like the physical piece finally clicking into place that is just confirmation at this point. This is why your journey has been so long thus far, is because in order to really receive this and have it be true power for you, not just getting what you want and deserve, right? But like actually having the spiritual, mental, and emotional work come first and laying the foundation and the groundwork. It's like doing all of that prep work for a house or for like an art project or something. And then, you know, the framework goes up super fast. And that's going to be this physical manifestation coming through. But you've needed the foundational layers, which has been a painstaking process for several months, where you've been really, really in the thick of it. And this is what is bringing this power over the devil. This is what is bringing you out from the power of the devil in any form, where you can receive these wish fulfillments and not have to worry that you're going to be reverting back to old, you know, like you could receive the physical manifestations very quickly. And sometimes if you do, it can be like this counterintuitive counterintuitive to counterproductive, I think is the word I wanted to use. Counterproductive to the progress that you're actually trying to make. It can be harder if you just receive your physical manifestations first and all of the other work is still underlying. Like, first of all, there's less motivation and less need to, like less push to get you to face everything that you're needing to face and everything that's keeping you from it. You also won't be able to maintain it. And I'm just going to say that like straight off. Like, you will not be able to maintain and hold your physical manifestations when they come into form if you are, if you haven't done that foundational groundwork. And that's why you'll see, like, for example, like there are some people that make it in this world. There are some people that make it in this world and they don't have good, happy, fulfilling lives. Like, they may have all of the money in the world, all the power, all the status, all the fame, all the reputation, all the clothes and the shoes and the food and the things that they want, like the things that they would want to manifest. But they don't have the emotional fulfillment. They don't have there's this analogy that Will Smith has used in an interview before that's like cliff top versus rock bottom are the same. So you can be at rock bottom in poverty with nothing, right? And you could be at the same place, mentally and emotionally speaking, at cliff top, where you have all the money in the world, because the money and the status and the fame and the reputation and the technical like achievements and productivity has nothing to do with how fulfilled you feel on the inside. So anything that has been getting in the way of your true emotional fulfillment, spiritual happiness, spiritual connectedness, that is what is going to be the most important in order for you to receive your manifestations and be happy, because the happiness is not going to come. There may be a sense of security and stability and pride in yourself for just receiving the money that you need, like that feels really nice to feel secure. But honestly, I know a lot of people in this world that are not in poverty but still live in it, like mentally are still caged by the scarcity mindset. I come from two parents who are very much that way. My dad is very well off for himself, but his family does not feel that way. And he does not feel that way. And it's a really, really sad thing to see someone work so hard to attain so much and still not be able to like reap the benefits of it or enjoy the reward of it. That is not my goal for myself or for my future family. That is the opposite of what I want to experience anymore, in the upcoming parts of my life. And so even before the physical manifestations have come in for me, for example, I have been living like they're already here. It may not make the most sense in the world to spend your last $5 on an ingredient for a special celebration drink that you want to have, to kind of toast your success, or just feel like you're living in a little bit of luxury, or to splurge for that fancy meal when you really technically, physically speaking, can't afford it. But those are the exact things, those are the exact patterns and behaviors that are going to move you mentally and emotionally and spiritually speaking into the place that you want to be. It's laying the foundational groundwork. It's like preparing the fields, preparing the soil for rain. It's like planting your seeds and realizing that it's going to take some time and it's going to take some effort for those things to come to fruition. or for you to even see any movement happening, right? But if you don't, then you're not going to feel inwardly like you've earned it. And that's a weird way to say it, but like humanity and like the human psyche is very much like easily bored, I want to say. And that's where you get like the type of spoiled and entitled that has a negative connotation. Like that's where that negative connotation really comes from, is for those who have never experienced, and I would say it as more of like an ignorant thing, more than anything like horrible or bad or whatever. It's like this person has not gotten to experience the different kind of fulfillment that comes from like working hard for something and investing in something and knowing that you've like put in the work for it. It feels different when you get that type of manifestation in your life. Like when you work really, really hard to build a fence or to work on a project or something, and then you see it in physical form, and you know how many hours it's taken, you know how long that you've worked on whatever it is, and the technical process and the problem solving and the, whatever you've been through, the blood, sweat, and tears to make it come into form. You're in a receiving era, but that, like, you've earned your receiving era because of all of this detachment from everything that was no longer serving you. That's work. That's mental, emotional, and spiritual work. So when these physical manifestations come in, you know that you have provided it for yourself by laying that foundational groundwork. And that's where we're going to leave